Redemption can be intoxicating, but the lure of downfall often proves even stronger. South Africa's fiery economic freedom fighters leader, Julius Malema, has long been one of the most polarizing figures in global politics. He built his empire on populism, dramatic flair, and open rebellion against the establishment. Yet today, the same man stands at the center of a grave legal crisis, a conviction in court and the looming possibility of a police search of his lavish residence. It's a story that blends celebrity and courtroom drama in equal measure. But how did things reach this point? What exactly led to his guilty verdict, the possibility of a 15-year prison term, and the burning question, what did the police find when they turned his world upside down? The saga begins not with a raid but with a roar in 2018. That year, Malema's political movement celebrated its 5th anniversary with a massive rally where thousands cheered as he danced before them. It was the height of his political power, a grand stage, adoring followers, and a platform to spread his divisive populist message. Then came the moment that would define his downfall. Viral footage emerged showing Malema dressed in his signature red overalls and beret, firing a rifle into the air. The display, intended as a symbol of defiance, sent a bold message to his opponents. Yet, what looked impressive online took on a far more serious tone inside a courtroom. The legal backlash was swift and punishing. The influential Afrikaner lobby group AfriForum filed criminal charges against him, accusing the politician of unlawfully possessing a firearm and ammunition, firing a weapon in a public area, and endangering lives through reckless behavior. The case became not just about Malema, but about public safety and South Africa's Firearms Control Act. His defense team argued that the gun was either a toy or a non-functional prop, dismissing the entire event as political theater. However, the prosecution painstakingly dismantled that defense, calling 19 witnesses and presenting extensive evidence throughout 4 years of legal delays and mounting political tension. When the judgment finally arrived, it came as a shock. Magistrate Twan Olivier delivered a damning verdict. Julius Malema was found guilty of multiple offences, including unlawful possession of a firearm and reckless discharge in public. The conviction struck a heavy blow to his political career. As a convicted criminal, he faced disqualification from Parliament, a devastating loss for the leader of South Africa's 4th-largest political force. More troubling still was the looming prison sentence. His crimes carried the potential of up to 15 years behind bars. Though the magistrate might show leniency, the threat of jail time early the following year was very real. The verdict sparked a spectacle of outrage and emotion, the kind of celebrity courtroom drama that grips the public. Malema declared himself the victim of a political conspiracy, claiming that powerful enemies sought to silence him and weaken the economic freedom fighters. He vowed to appeal to the Constitutional Court. Outside the East London Magistrates' Court, chaos erupted as he rallied his supporters, casting himself as a martyr fighting a racist and oppressive system. Behind the scenes, the story took a darker turn. Legal scrutiny expanded beyond the courtroom, reaching into Malema's private life, his wealth, and his secrets. The next chapter hinted at a shocking police raid that would change everything. While the public fixated on the firearm case, Malema's political career had long been shadowed by allegations of corruption and financial misconduct. Before the gun charges, he had already faced major criminal accusations, including fraud, money laundering, and racketeering in 2012. He also owed the South African Revenue Service roughly $2 million in unpaid taxes. This scandalous record likely triggered the post-conviction investigation and ensuing search. Police raids following the conviction of a high-profile figure with a record of financial wrongdoing are rarely limited in scope. They often seek multiple forms of evidence, not just illegal items but materials that could open new criminal lines of inquiry. Malema, far from a modest public servant, was known for his extravagant lifestyle, designer suits, luxury German vehicles, and fine whiskey, all starkly at odds with his anti-capitalist rhetoric. Frequently labeled a tinderpreneur, a businessman enriched through corrupt government contracts, Malema's wealth, valued in the millions of rand, was widely believed to stem from dubious state deals related to hospital and housing projects marred by fraud and poor service delivery. As the police searched his properties, speculation surged. What were they looking for? What might they uncover? Investigators reportedly targeted unregistered firearms, illegal ammunition, and digital or paper trails of financial misconduct. The earlier firearm conviction gave authorities grounds to suspect more hidden weapons, discoveries that could dramatically worsen his sentencing. They also sought financial documents, hard drives, and bank records that could expose money laundering or racketeering schemes. Malema's connection to lucrative state tenders, worth around 130 million rand through one of his businesses, represented a glaring vulnerability. For investigators, the goal was clear: to connect the populist revolutionary with the millionaire profiteer he condemned in his speeches. If uncovered, unaccounted income or illicit dealings could destroy his credibility and expose systemic corruption involving powerful allies. The political atmosphere around him grew increasingly toxic, a powder keg of anger and division. For opponents, Malema's conviction validated their accusations that the EFF was violent and lawless. The subsequent raid, they argued, revealed the hypocrisy of a man who decried elite corruption while living lavishly. For his loyal supporters, however, the events were proof of a coordinated witch hunt, evidence that the state feared Malema's rising influence and his radical call to seize white-owned land without compensation. Each new legal battle, every raid, and every courtroom hearing only deepened the divide. His followers viewed the ongoing prosecution as a gross abuse of power, an invasion of privacy designed to destroy a revolutionary voice. To Malema, politics and justice were inseparable. The courtroom was merely another battleground for public perception and survival. Yet his taste for luxury became a liability when faced with possible imprisonment. His argument that the firearm was merely a prop failed to convince the courts but succeeded in delaying the case for years, a tactic often used in high-profile trials to wear down prosecutors and public interest alike. Ultimately, the true shock was not the guilty verdict itself but that, after years of delays and political maneuvering, the justice system finally delivered a decisive blow to a powerful political figure. As sentencing approaches in early January, anticipation builds. A maximum sentence of 15 years looms over him. Even a shorter term could spell the end of his political ambitions. Whatever the police uncovered during their search could now play a decisive role in shaping his fate. Did investigators discover hidden weapons, evidence of corruption, or nothing at all? The truth, once revealed, will mark a pivotal chapter in this gripping saga. Julius Malema's story embodies the clash between populist power and judicial accountability, a complex tale of a leader who claimed to fight for the poor while facing allegations of corruption and deceit. The infamous rifle, the shocking verdict, the impending prison term, and the police raid intertwine into a national drama that continues to captivate the public. Malema's legacy now hangs in the balance. His destiny, and perhaps South Africa's political trajectory, will be shaped by what comes next. As this unprecedented story unfolds, one thing is certain: the political drama surrounding Julius Malema will continue to fascinate the world for years to come.